questions from our communicators on the floor. And one of the questions is, how is SUCA, the State-Owned Entities Communicators Association, helping to influence issues such as jobs, poverty, social upliftment? Gentlemen?
Yeah, I think, just to come on that, you see, one of the things that was said earlier today was that in 1994 there were about just over 300 SOEs. It means by doubling the number of SOEs, there's been a lot of jobs that were created. But then most of these SOEs are dealing with tourism, for example, and they are creating jobs in that sphere. And we are responding to these issues, but the National Development Plan is there for everybody to go through and sift out the things that you as the specific SOE are able to implement, to take out there and discuss. Like, for example, with the SABC, can we have these debates and put them out there so that people know where they can get opportunities and whatever. But also, as the SOE, as SUCA, we have taken it upon ourselves to, when we have our meetings, monthly meetings, we go to each and every, we go to these SOEs themselves. We have meetings there. And one of the agenda points that is there is for that SOE to have a slot that says, what do you do? So that we as communicators are able to also know what this SOE is all about. Because some of these SOEs do a lot of good work, but nobody knows about it. And also because of the way they communicate, because they then go to, they want to please their principals, like the president here has been saying. You find an SOE that is based in Lephalale, wanting to speak on a radio station that is based in Gauteng, because the principal is going to be listening. Right. And that, for me, is not communication.
Okay, all right. So, and I think that kind of, we've spoken really about communicating the SOEs themselves too. They must not just rely on the media, they've got to use their own platforms. Okay, Marva Scott is on table number 2. Stand up so that we can get a microphone to you. There we go. There we go.
Thank you very much. Mine is to Mr. Kanyako, because you touched on this very briefly, though, just on the relationship between the state and the media. Because in my view, that relationship is at breaking point now. What is happening there? What can we do as government to ensure that we rescue this type of relationship? I mean, the disrespect that is there, if you look at the events that have happened recently, the mistrust between this. Is it because our communication system as government is showing weaknesses, or is it because journalists are becoming embedded politically as to undermine the authority of the state? What can we do to rescue this? Because to get that message across, you do need a solid mutual respect relationship between government and the state. I'm not asking for a sweetheart relationship or a buddy-buddy kind of thing. Mutual respect, maturity, and an ability to work together for the benefit of all South Africans. So what can we do as SUCA, as government as a whole? Thank you.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Tabiso Machaka is on table number 5.
My question is, the first speaker on the panel is directed to you. You've touched on saying that seekers is mostly in the media for the wrong reasons. So what I want to find out is, how can we regain the confidence in our seeker? Thank you.
Okay. Hlengiwe Mutaung is on table number 2.
Good morning. My name is Hlengiwe Mutaung, as Mr. Ndoro just said, and my question is directed to Mr. Mahlangu. How does SUCA play a role in ensuring good governance in state-owned entities?
Okay, right. So 30 seconds each answer. Let's go.
Yeah, I think we are in areas of one question that was not adequately answered.
Yeah.
the one on corruption of the SOEs.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, that question is also very important. I'm not sure whether I think he has
well, I
escaped
suppose
that
they
question.
kind of work together, but we'll...
But let me come quickly to the question that was raised earlier on about what does SUCA do in terms of influencing the public posture and also able to make sure that the reputation is built. I think what we have done over the past 2 years of our existence, we have ensured that we have set up the team of, we have partnered with credible institutions so that they can able to provide expertise amongst ourselves as an organization. We have to make sure that we have exposed our members to different form of training and knowledge so that they can be better communicators. We have also ensured that one of the critical elements that we bring on board is a question of change management in communication. More often than not, we undermine that particular element, which is very critical. Change management dictates to us that we must be able to know the type of principles that we are dealing with in the organization. You must remember, there was a question of accidental leadership. There are other SOEs, with due respect to all of them, who are there. Some of them do not know how they arrive in those particular positions. They just wake up and saw themselves as CEOs. And it builds in them the different posture. You need to be able to see how to relate to them. So those are elements that we are bringing in terms of change management to our members. So we are bringing those of knowledgeable skills that are able to meet the expectations of various institutions. We understand and appreciate that all communicators have got a different level of communication. We have communicators from national level. And obviously, they will be different from your Tswane Economic Development Agents, which is an SOEs. So that linkage is that we are supposed to create. So we are creating we are bringing all these particular skills and expertise from various sources that we are partnering with them. And at this point in time, we have partnered quite very well with a number of institutions, and we are providing some of the services to our best of SOEs. And the change of attitude is beginning to gain ground, and the traction is coming into play.
I'm going to hurry up because of time, but Mr. Kganyago, this relationship between the media and SOEs, and I'm just going to throw my 2 cents worth in there. There are some SOEs that are fantastic. As a journalist, you've dialed, they answer the phone and they're willing to speak to you. And then there are others, when there are problems, the phone's on voicemail. But when they want to come on Morning Live, they want to promote something, suddenly we can get hold of them. And this is part of the tension between the two. You hold a press conference, sometimes you don't want to answer questions, sometimes you do, depending on the nature of the beast. So certainly there is a tension. How do we fix this? Is it just the media? Is it SOEs? How do we find the middle ground?
I think, Peter, the first thing that we need to look at is the fact that we have got the audience at the end of this. If we have got to, forced or not forced, be in a marriage between the two of us, because we all have one group of people that we need to communicate to. But then the other problem is that there are people, and we've got to hit this straight on the nail on the head. There are people who think that when somebody is a journalist, that person can immediately be turned into a spokesperson. Therefore, and I don't know where this thing comes from, where things like that happen. Therefore, this creates a tension in the sense that the other groups who are in the journalist side, they want to prove to you that you are incapable so that they are able to come and occupy the space that you are in. That is the one part. But the other part is what you have just mentioned, is the issue around how we communicate to each other. Because as communicators, we need to understand, when do we call a press conference? When is it necessary to issue a statement? When is it necessary? Because sometimes people think when there's a crisis, you need to call a press conference. And when you are in the press conference, you then rudely realize that you are not having all the answers. And you start ducking and diving because you are unable to do it. But also from the side of the journalists, the juniorization of the newsroom is a problem. Because people, with me dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, the kind of things that they ask, then you just see, well, it's just to prove a point. And for me, it is problematic. Disrespect comes into play, and those are the values that are not communication values. They are moral issues that needs to be put in place. People talk to the president of this country like they are talking to a young boy in a primary school. And for me, those are the things that we need, together with the media, to sit down and iron out. Because if we don't do that, the people that suffers will be the public out there.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue answering some of these important questions.